Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we explored the remainder of one island and got the Ruby for Celio, who told us there's another gemstone somewhere in the Sevi Islands that we need to go find. In return for doing him this favor, he decided to trade out our old pass for the ferry with his Rainbow Pass, which allows for ferries between Vermilion and all 7 of the Sevi Islands. So, this time, as promised in the last episode, not Vermilion City. I was expecting you to let me, have a minute before you let me press the A button, whatever. This time, we are not going to be going to Vermilion City, or 5, 6, or 7 Island, or 4 Island, but 3 Island. Because I definitely promised that in the last episode. One thing has changed on 3 Islands since we were last here. Those bikers ran off and Lostel was found safe. Everything turned out for the best. True. If we head in here, you'll recall that before, this cave was tiny. There was nothing here whatsoever. That is not the case anymore, clearly. 3 Isle Path is expanded because this guy was looking for gold. While we were out on our own journey, he was having one in here. Found a nugget there, and if we talk to the man now... Hey there, how's it going? Did you hear? I've struck gold. You remember that I was prospecting, didn't you? You can't begin to imagine just how happy I am. So I'll show you. This is for you. The nugget. That's a nugget. I can't give you any nuggets of wisdom, so that'll have to do. This guy is actually a reoccurring character in this series, but we'll talk more about that in future Let's Plays when he shows up. This exit. We are still at 3 Isle Port, but there's tall grass here, which means there's a new Pokemon. Let's go over it now. Please appear, please appear, please appear, please appear. Why'd you take so long? Damn, okay. Dunsparce is the classic example of a Pokemon with an incredible niche ruined by the fact that it can't evolve. And Game Freak knew this, because when they finally let it evolve after 20 years after its debut, it just became a bigger Dunsparce. To start with, if you intend to use Dunsparce, make sure it has Serene Grace. I know I usually don't even bother to bring this up with most Pokemon who have Runaway as an option, but Serene Grace is just too good to pass up, doubling the chances for move secondary effects to go off. Combining this with Body Slam for a 60% chance to paralyze, Headbutt for a 60% chance of causing a flinch, Rock Slide for coverage with the same flinch chance, on top of access to most TM moves, most of which have their own added effects for Serene Grace to boost, yeah, Dunsparce definitely has something going for it. The weakness here is really its stats. 100 in HP looks great on paper, but it doesn't have a single other stat over 70, and its speed stat of 45 leaves it unable to damage the things it would otherwise likely be the best against. Dunsparce is unfortunate. It could be really good, but unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be in this generation. I did, in fact, accidentally almost use the Master Ball on a Dunsparce, and you know what? On Dunsparce of all Pokemon, if I had made that mistake, I would have just run with it, because that's funny as hell. When spotted, this Pokemon escapes backward by furiously boring into the ground with its tail. As it says, this Pokemon is capable of running away in Generation 2. It's one of few Pokemon with that ability. That can't happen in Generation 3 as far as I know. That's exclusive to roaming legendaries, which Dunsparce, unfortunately, is not one of, although he definitely could be with how strong he is. You heard. I don't have a name for him. Oh yeah, Box Forceful. I did some stuff off screen. Anyway, with Dunsparce caught, there's nothing else to do on 3 Island. We've seen everything here. We've also seen everything on 1 Island and everything on 2 Island, which means the only course of action for us now is to finally head to 4 Island. Let's go. Alright, all aboard Sea Gallop High Speed 6! This song. Oh. I'm gonna let you listen to this for a minute. The music that plays on 4 Island is a remix of the song used for Azalea Town and Blackthorn City in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. It's another song that sounds really, really good on the Game Boy Advance. Hey, you interrupted it! Hey, Winter! What are you doing here in the Sevi Islands? You should quit copying me, you know. Anyway, I already got my Pokemon egg, so I'm done with this island. I bet you don't even know about Pokemon eggs. You'll never fill your national Pokedex that way. By the way, I saw someone we both know on this island. Why don't you go look around if it makes you curious? Me, I don't have time to waste. Be smelling ya. Be smelling ya sounds worse than smell you later. Like, at least smell you later is actual slang. I think he's the first person to ever say be smelling ya. That's awful. Okay, well, we do have a little bit of a town here. As you can see, the water is still too fast for us to surf on, but we can use Rock Smash on this rock to get further up the shore. To get a star piece. Not bad. Alright. I'm gonna stop into the Pokemon Center before anything else, because my Pokemon are hurt, and I just forgot to heal them. Oh, a Pokemon egg? I have no idea. Oh, wait, the daycare people in town were saying something. They said they'd found eggs before on their property. There's a rare kind of ice Pokemon that lives in the cave. We get a lot of visitors hoping to see that Pokemon. Maybe we'll talk about that later. This is a Pokemon journal from years ago. Contest special. The Spring Pokemon Contest Grand Champion is Daisy Oak of Pallet Town? I've never seen that text before. Okay. I guess Daisy is a Pokemon coordinator. I didn't know that.
What's this? The new Pokemon journal hasn't arrived on this island.
I guess that's interesting. That's like rewarding text that you'll only see if you talk to NPCs or like know to check that specific bookshelf, I guess.
Lorelei has returned. Did she find the city life too stressful, I wonder?
Okay, well, it's a little bit of intrigue for stuff we might be able to see on this here island, but our first stop is directly north of the port, the daycare. This daycare, let's actually just, well, I don't fully want to show it off yet. Okay, so this daycare can take 2 Pokemon. This means it is possible to do Pokemon breeding in this daycare, which is a whole complicated bag of worms that I do not want to get into yet. However, the next episode of this Let's Play is going to be a full guide to Pokemon breeding in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. I will say right now, though, this probably isn't the best game for you to do breeding in, especially in Generation 3. You'll probably want to be doing it in Emerald, but whatever. It's still here in case you do want to do it. Alright, in the northeastern house. Is this like a gay thing? There, boing! You're awfully heavy. Ready? Boing! We're having a body slam match to see who wimps out first. If you were to join us, you'd be squashed like a bug, though. How about I teach body slam to a Pokemon of yours instead? I am really considering this because body slam is a fantastic move. Body Slam is an 85 power normal type move with a 30% chance of paralyzing the opponent. If anybody was gonna learn this, it would probably be Ryan, and he's not in the party right now. Although Lamp is still not an awful user of this, because paralysis is really good for a Pokemon that kind of stalls like Lamp does, but I don't think I'm gonna go for it on her. If anyone's learning that, it'll be Ryan. Come again, boing! Alright. I don't know what house is next. I should go to the Pokemart at least, probably. I doubt you have anything new to sell. Specifically, Ice Heals is nice considering, like, the context of where we are, but we'll be seeing that later. Otherwise, it looks like this is pretty damn similar to Cinnabar Island, so not too worried about it. I'm gonna buy some more Ultra Balls, though, because we are running low after that Moltres encounter. Next door. I collected a ton of stickers. I wish I could show them off. Oh, excellent. You've come to the right place. Look, look, see? See? These are my stickers. Look how many I got. I bet you want some. I bet you do. I'll give a sticker if you can tell me something awesome about yourself. What will you brag about? Okay, so... this guy will put a sticker on your trainer card depending on your accomplishments. There are 3 stickers each. There are 3 stickers, each has 4 tiers. The first one, of course, is for entering the Hall of Fame. We're gonna say we did that. Oh wow, you made it into the Hall of Fame. That's pretty good, yep. I'll give you one of these. Hall of Fame sticker was applied to the trainer card. If we look at our trainer card now, you can see up at the top where it says Trainer Winter, there is a sticker up there. This is the bronze sticker for the Hall of Fame. For a bronze sticker, you only need to enter the Hall of Fame once. For a silver sticker, you need to enter 40 times. For gold, you need to enter 100 times. And for platinum, you need to enter 200 times. And believe it or not, this is not the only thing on this island that requires you to enter the Hall of Fame 200 times. The next sticker is for hatching an egg. For hatching 1, you get a bronze sticker. For 100, you get silver. For 200, gold. And for 300, platinum. And lastly, winning a link battle. This isn't too bad since you can trade a weak Pokemon to another game and obliterate them over and over and over again, but this takes forever, so it's probably not worth it. You got a bronze for a single win, silver for 20, gold for 50, and platinum for 100. Getting at least the first tier of all these stickers isn't too hard, but dear God, please do not ever attempt to get a platinum in all of these. It is not worth the time sink. We head to this easternmost house. There's someone looking in the window. Oh, you found me. Please don't tell Lorelei. Do you know that Lorelei has lots and lots of stuffed dolls? Every time she comes back to 4 Island, her collection grows. This is Lorelei's house. And she does have a lot of Poké dolls. Stuffed Pokemon dolls galore. Do all of them say that? Yep. This is another thing that's pretty interesting that requires many wins in the Elite Four. And, you know, getting to the Hall of Fame, but we'll talk more about this later. Over at the pond by the Pokemon Center, there are 2 new Pokemon that can appear here, 1 per version, and we definitely got the worst of the 2. Let's go over it now. Wooper is the best fucking thing ever, but it evolves at level 20, so let's just talk about Quagsire. Quagsire is the best fucking thing ever, but unfortunately, it and its evolution are only available in FireRed. To start with, make sure it has Water Absorb. A Quagsire with Water Absorb will get HP restored when hit by Water-type move instead of taking neutral damage. Other than that, the rest of what I say is universal to every Quagsire. Quagsire only has a single weakness thanks to its incredible typing of Water Ground, Grass. Outside of this, Quagsire is capable of taking powerful hits from the very best physical attackers in the game, and can even take most special hits decently enough thanks to its functional HP stat and immunity to electric. Through breeding, Quagsire can get Curse passed down as an egg move from Slowpoke or Slowbro, dropping its speed by 1 stage in exchange for an upgrade to its attack and defense, allowing it to take even harder physical hits and hit extremely hard with Earthquake and certain types of hidden power. It's also an excellent user of Toxic, Rest, and Counter, effectively using them to stall out its opponents. Quagsire is definitely on the bulkier side. It's not a fast sweeper or anything, but it definitely is a powerful presence regardless. And even if you aren't sold on it as far as strategy goes, it's still the best fucking thing ever. Marill evolves at level 18, just evolve it into Azumarill. Azumarill seems pretty good on paper, right? Huge power doubles its attack stat for free, essentially giving it an attack and HP stat of 100. Unfortunately, outside of that, Azumarill doesn't have much else going for it. Azumarill lacks physical stab, meaning that huge power is only going to apply to moves outside of its own type, and realistically, that means Return, Hidden Power, and Iron Tail. Alternatively, it's a good enough user of Substitute and Focus Punch. That's all. There's not much to say about Azumarill. Caught a Marill. This is going to be useful for later. There is an HM that Krabby can't learn that we're going to be getting a TM for in this video, so well, an HM for, because it's the Sevi Island, so God forbid it's just a TM. So, yeah, it's just good to have that now. I'm going to go ahead and put Meryl in the party. I don't think we're going to need the Lost in the upcoming area. Hopefully. If we do, then goddamn, I guess we have to deposit 2 party members for this. Let's see what our Meryl is like. Bold nature. Huge power, got the best ability at least. That's good. Not much else to say about it. It's not going to be used to, like, battle or anything, but still good to have. Alright. Last thing to do on 4 Island, really, at least right now, is to head over here. You can surf here. Which means this is another area, I guess, where you can catch Meryl. You don't need to do it next to Pokemon Center. So Stardust here. It's a good selling item. It's an okay selling item. I don't know if good is the right word. Whew, chilly. I made a slushy using ice I shaved in Icefall Cave. It's chilly and tasty. Sure, it's ice, dude. Okay. Icefall Cave. This is another icy cave area, because that's what this generation needed. Since I mentioned HM, you probably know which HM we're getting here, and I think it's interesting to note that if you bring a Seaking at least level 41, Seaking learns Waterfall through level up, so you can just go up that waterfall early and skip this entire dungeon, rewarding you for using a Seaking. It's just a rare thing that you'll rarely ever be rewarded for otherwise. These ice puzzles, you can go over these once, but not twice. Messing up has basically no benefits other than getting you access to some items, I think, but yeah, this is really, like, it's sort of just a kind of annoying dungeon. Alright, there are some new Pokemon to go over here. You know the puzzle now is going to revolve around not stepping on any tile, like any ice tile twice, so let's just go over the new Pokemon that can appear here real quick. Shelder technically appears much earlier in the Kanto region in FireRed. I just missed this one. Sorry. Shelder evolves through Waterstone, and before that point... oh boy. But first things first, you're not missing out on anything by waiting to evolve Shelder with a Waterstone. Short of chain breeding to get a Shelder knowing Rapid Spin, it can learn all of its best moves through TM. Though if you don't want to grind for an Ice Beam TM, you will need to wait to evolve Shelder until level 50. 49 if you trade it to Ruby and Sapphire and train it there, though. Cloyster is a really solid Pokemon in multiplayer, but for single player, I don't really know what to say about it. Okay, so Cloyster's whole game really is to use Spikes 3 times, an entry hazard it learns at level 36 or through the move relearner, and then dealing damage with Surf and Ice Beam until it's at low health, at which point it explodes courtesy of the move tutor on Mount Ember. Its defense stat of 180 also ensures its survival against most physical attackers, in exchange for it being pitifully weak to anything special-based. Cloyster is good, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the type of Pokemon that gets great use in single-player. Swinub is adorable! It's an unevolved Pokemon with no stat over 50, though. It evolves at level 33. Let's talk about Piloswine. Piloswine is a decent enough Pokemon, though the ground type really does it no favors as far as its defensive abilities go. Piloswine is capable of dealing pretty decent damage with physical attacks and can take physical hits well as well. But that really ultimately just boils down to Earthquake, Rock Slide, Return, and Double Edge, with Ice Beam or Blizzard as options if you absolutely need to take advantage of its Ice-type stab. Outside of this, Piloswine is also okay at using Toxic and Protect to stall out its opponents, and it can even use Light Screen to bulk up its own special defense and allow it to survive some hits that it otherwise couldn't. It's not the best Pokemon ever, obviously, and it suffers from all the shortcomings that every Ice-type suffers from, but it's still pretty solid as long as you're willing to bring other Pokemon along that can cover its weaknesses. In Fire Red only, Delibird sucks. The only move it learns through level up is Present. Present has a 40% chance to be a 40 base power move, a 30% chance to be an 80 base power move, a 10% chance to be a 120 base power move, and a 20% chance to heal a quarter of the target's maximum HP. This move is more likely to heal your target than to be strong. It's obviously terrible and should not ever be considered on any moveset. Even outside of this though, Delibird really doesn't get better with TMs and move tutors. It can use Ice Beam or Blizzard if you want to waste a TM, It can use Focus Punch and Substitute poorly if you want to waste a TM and Move Tutor. It can use Fly if you don't already have Farfetch'd. Look, just look at Delabird's stats. I tried to avoid saying this, but this is a bad Pokemon. Don't use it. In LeafGreen only, Sneasel is pretty decent, so long as you're fine with it getting absolutely no use out of the same type attack bonus. Sneasel's stats are geared solely towards being a physical sweeper and a glass cannon at that. Unfortunately, its types are not good for these purposes, with both of its types being special types and the combination inviting 5 weaknesses, including a 4 times weakness to fighting. The best you can really hope for with Sneasel is to use Swords Dance a single time and then sweep with Shadow Ball, Brick Break, Double Edge, Return, Aerial Ace, or any other number of decent enough physical moves against their TM or Move Tutor. Sneasel certainly isn't the best Pokemon ever or anything, but it's a solid enough physical sweeper, so long as you keep it out of the way of any weaknesses that it can't outspeed.
So, there's not really much to this dungeon. I wasn't expecting to get the waterfall HM as fast as I did here, but I got it during the bios. It's pretty simple to get to, all things considered. I was expecting it to be more complicated since, like, this is a post-game dungeon. This is our first example of sort of a traditional ice puzzle, though, where it's like, oh, you're on slippery terrain, have fun. But no, it really has not been that challenging at all whatsoever. Like, go down here, then here, then here, and you get attacked by a wild Pokemon, and it's just a seal, which you already caught earlier, so you have no reason to be in the encounter, but at this point you're already commentating and it's too late to go back on it. And then you hit this rock, go down here, and climb up this ladder. This is where Waterfall was. Really not that complicated. Like, I was expecting that to be, like, less simple, I guess. Oh my god, hi Sneasel! Sneasel's pretty rare, and I wanted to catch one anyway, because I just like Sneasel, so if you don't faint to this, I'll catch you. I'm honestly a little surprised it didn't faint. I'll take it, though. Okay. I really like Sneasel. Sneasel is, like, one of my favorite Pokemon designs, from Generation 2, at least. Not of all time or anything, but I really wish it was better, because I would absolutely, like, not use it in this game, obviously, but use it in a team sooner than I probably will end up doing for a Let's Play. Its catch rate also must be really low, because goddamn, that shook, I think, one time. Get in the ball, please. You aren't the Coliseum, Sneasel. You don't need to be an asshole. You aren't at the Under Subway. You don't need to be, like, a dick. You aren't a Shadow Pokemon. You don't have an excuse. 1, 2, 3. Why was that harder than, like, Articuno in the Generation 1 Let's Play? Its paws conceal sharp claws. If attacked, it suddenly extends the claws and startles its enemy. Cool. I would like to name it. Alright. With that done, we now have a Pokemon knowing Waterfall, since I taught it to Meryl, which means we can use Waterfall here to very, very, very slowly surf up this waterfall. Kind of uncharacteristic of Gen 3, because everything usually goes really damn fast in this game. Just this generation in general. Surfing is really fast, like... I think Generation 3 is weird, because everything in the battles feels a lot slower, but everything in the overworld feels so fast. Alright. Keep your filthy hands off the Pokemon in the cave. Do as I say, or you'll have me to answer to. Aw, shut it, lady, and leave us be. Don't let your glasses get all steamed up. Winter, what are you doing here? No, we can catch up later. Right now, I need your help. Help me kick these poachers out before they do anything else. They've been catching Pokemon here, then selling them off. Are you ready? You take that one, please. What? Who says we can't do what we want with the Pokemon we catch? Team Rocket Grunt, because goddamn, they just don't give up.
This is just like Jesse and James. You know, if Giovanni had disbanded the anime, like the Team Rocket in the anime, Jesse and James would still be at it. But these ones seem to be a little bit more, like, organized, which is probably not a good thing. They're still using, like, level 38 Zubats, though, in the post-game after we've already beaten a level, what, 65 Charizard, so... Cool, dude. You're putting up a real fight against Gaster right now. Gaster really shouldn't be in the lead. I just haven't wanted to open the menu to switch him out. Let's finish this one with Metronome. Let's be funny. What are we getting, Gaster? Howl. Oh yeah, raise your attack stat. Let's go. What are you gonna hit him with next? Oh, I love using Metronome. It's so suspenseful every time. What's next? What's the next step in your master plan? Fury Cutter, I see. That's like 0.25 times effective, but good going, man. Oh, now you're confused. I see, you were trying to hit yourself for more damage? With Hal? Oh no, Chester, don't lose to a level 38 Zubat. Oh, don't do this to me. Frenzy Plant! That is also 0.25 times effective, but your special attack stat is so high it doesn't matter. Yeah! Awesome, dude. Okay, I'll take it. We didn't plan on this. Well, it's kind of hard to plan around Metronome, dude. I don't know what to tell you. So despicably weak. You, tell me. Where have you taken the captured Pokémon? I'm smashing your ring once and for all. No way, I'm not telling you that. If you won't confess, we'll deep freeze you. My Lapras is furious for what you've done to its friends. Go, Lapras! Ice Beam! Okay, I'll talk! The Pokemon are in the Rocket Warehouse at 5 Island! There, I said it! We'll be going now! But I doubt you'll ever make it into the Rocket Warehouse! Winter, thank you. But this is awful. I was born and raised here on these islands. I had no idea that those horrible criminals were loose here. Yeah, I think it's kind of your job to be on top of that sort of thing. Anyway, this room is a little bit interesting because if we surf in here, and surf for a very, 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 very long time, I'll see you whenever I find what I'm looking for. Finally! Lapras can appear in the wild here. As high as level, like, 40-something, probably. Level 35 is the level the one I found is. This is one of the few places in the entire world of Pokemon where Lapras can be found naturally in the wild, and it's only a 1% chance. Lapras's Pokedex entries do state that it's on the verge of going extinct. So this is one of the few places it really has left, and Team Rocket was here presumably poaching them. In case you needed another reason to hate Team Rocket. I'm not catching this, I already have one. With that out of the way, we can just leave the way we came in. Pretty cool. Don't know how that waterfall goes up there and then we somehow still return here on level ground, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and go back to the Pokemon Center real quick because I need to heal. After leaving Icefall Cavern, we can head back into Lorelei's house, and she'll be here. There's something weighing heavily on my mind. If anything were to happen on the island where I was born, I wouldn't know about it if I were in the Pokemon League. I wonder if that would make me irresponsible to my home. Little insightful. In Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, she is no longer with the Indigo Plateau, so it's implied that the reason is so she can stay behind on 4 Island to protect the Pokemon here. I really like that. As for the Pokédolls in her house, I said there was something interesting about them. So she has 6 upon her first visit here. But if you enter the Hall of Fame 25 times, she will add another. And she will continue to do this every 25 times you enter the Hall of Fame until she has 14 dolls. Meaning, yes, this is the second house where you are technically required to enter the Hall of Fame 200 times for 100% completion. It's a little bit ridiculous. I also like the implication that she gets so stressed out by you continuing to come in and beat her over and over again that she just, like, stress buys as many plushies as possible, because that is a fucking mood. With that, that is everything to do with 4 Island, other than the daycare. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we're going to go into the ins and outs of Pokemon breeding and what you can get out of it. See you guys then.